bag makers, Lisa here from Andrie Designs. Let's take a closer look at one of the busiest zones in my sewing room, my cutting table and ironing station. So I'm going to show you how I set them up and what I keep within arm's reach to make my cutting and pressing as smooth as possible. And while you're watching, I'd love to know what's one thing you always keep on your cutting table. Pop it in the comments below. Let's go. So this is my cutting table, and to be honest, it's probably where I spend most of my time. Whether I'm filming videos or designing patterns, this is where you will no doubt find me if I'm in my sewing room. So as I said in my other video, I have shelves under my cutting table, and that's where I keep my patterns, my threads, my zips. If I go and look down the middle, that's where I've got my cork and my clips, my spare clips. Over on this side, down the bottom, I've got some prototypes that I need to find a home for. I've got my overlocker with a handmade cover over it. I've got some spare yarn, some spare ribbons and things in that tub, I think. All my hardware, love my hardware storage, and I've just got some spare other bits and bobs down there as well. So it's a great space for storing stuff, but more importantly, on top, it is my cutting surface. So around here is where I will hang out most of the time. I always have a workbook on my desk, on my cutting table, where I write my notes, where I design my bags, where I put everything in there to then type up later into documents that are nice and friendly for you guys to use. I have my handy hold-all baskets over here with all my wonderful tools I use. I've got my marking pens, my little short rulers. Of course, I've got a seam ripper or two. We all have those, my measuring tape, etc. And over in the back there, I have got my cutters, my rulers, seam rollers, my little snips, that all lives in there. I've got my current project I'm working on. Oh, how gorgeous is this gorgeous panel? Working on a S&S tote at the moment, so I'm hoping to put that together soon to get that finished off. And that is where I spend all my time when I'm cutting, prepping, basting, tacking, everything to do with making bags or just generally sewing as well. It's a great little surface. It's not giant, it could be bigger, but it works for what I need. And I've got my awesome overhead lights that my dad helped put together, so they give me lots of light for when I'm not only sewing and making, but also when I'm filming as well. Just above my sewing table on the wall, I have this beautiful piece of art from Kelly Lane, which says, "Believe you can and you will." And I have had this piece of art for several years now. It's probably in old photos on my website, probably in old videos as well. And I just love it. It's something that's come with me every time we've moved, and it is just beautiful. I just love it. So that lives next to my cutting table. And then next to that, hanging on the wall, I have my cutting rulers sleeve, I guess you'd call it. It's just a little bag I have made which holds my cutting rulers, holds my awesome sewing pins. If I zoom in there, you can see those pins and my crochet pins. And that lives right next to my cutting table, so I can grab whatever ruler I need at any time, ready to go. In the corner is my interfacing, my foam, and my scraps tub for prototyping, because I'm certainly not going to use my good fabric when I am prototyping. Behind my cutting table in the cupboard, sometimes I do feel like Harry Potter in the cupboard under the stairs, is where I do my ironing. So I have my nice new iron, which I love the colours, funnily enough. They coordinate quite nicely with Andrie Designs. And I have my little tub of spare interfacing scraps, which is great for the back of lining panels, the great back of zipper pocket panels, panels that aren't your prominent bag panels. Great to use up those scraps. And I have my press, which if you haven't got a press and you make lots of bags, I highly recommend you looking into them. They are a lifesaver when it comes to fusing your interfacing and fleece or foam onto your panels. They save so much time, and I firmly believe they're well worth the money. This is just an Elna one. It's nothing fancy, but it does the job. And I've even used it recently to fuse iron-on vinyl to quilting cotton. Does a beautiful job, so much faster than doing it by hand, and it is well worth the investment if you can buy one for yourself. So that is my ironing station right behind my cutting station, which is right next to my sewing machines. Before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to share a little habit that really helps me keep the space workable. So at the end of each sewing session, I take a couple of minutes to reset. I put away any tools I know I won't need for this project that I'm working on again. I tidy up my piles of fabric and my pattern pieces, and I throw away any rubbish. I always try to keep a decent space on my cutting mat clear so that I'm ready to go next time. And when I finish a project completely, I do a proper reset. I put away the pattern, I fold and store any leftover fabric, I tidy up my threads and their matching bobbins, I change my machine needle, new project, new needle, and I clear off my cutting table. This makes a huge difference heading into the next make with a nice fresh space. And that's how I set up my cutting table and ironing station, plus a few simple habits that help me keep everything tidy and ready to go. Keeping these two areas efficient really makes a difference in my sewing flow. I'd love to know if you do something similar, or if you have your own end of project routine, share it in the comments. If this video gave you some ideas or reminded you to reset your sewing space, give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more behind the scenes sewing life, tips and tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy sewing!